it's going to feel confident for BaiSha. For the Falcons, going to try something a little bit different, going with Eagle Eye, which was going to be the decider if we ever got there last time.
Yeah.
Not going to be the case, but Ankara, the first map, one of the maps, or not, no, it's banned last time, going to be the decider.
We got to see sub-base Black Widow and then never got to that Eagle Eye, so it is, you know, a little bit similar. That sub-base obviously not coming into play. We'll see, though, if we can get to Ankara. It feels like that might just have to be the staging ground, and Falcons are going to be able to come up with this win. But you talked about it, you mentioned it. Sometimes those salty runbacks, that lower bracket, you get that rematch, you get an understanding of what your opponents are bringing to the fold, how they're hitting their shots, maybe also catching them a little bit on tilt. So there's still going to be an opportunity here for Falcons, but for sure, what we need to see is a leveled up performance. We need to see that tight-knit gameplay, something that was severely lacking. They got started off quite decently in that series, but once they really warmed up the engine, they just ran away with the whole rest of it.
Yeah, and for me, part of it was just N9 getting a great download on what the Falcons were trying to do, and round over round just had phenomenal adjustments. I mean, yes, of course, BaiSha loaded with talent in terms of the fragging power, but really one of the biggest things that I remember from that series is just constantly being like, good God, N9 has read these positions well. He's setting up for the flanks. He's working the map incredibly beautifully with the way he's setting up with his util, the way he's positioning the pieces on the chessboard. All of those things going to have to be in the back of Falcons' minds, in the back of Shady's mind, the IGL for Falcons to come through here and figure out a response, figure out a recourse. But I agree with you, there needs to be a little bit better team play from the Falcons. A whole lot has to go differently for them, obviously, but that is what it's all about. That's why you do these runbacks. That's why you have these group stages where you get 2 chances, because you never know. Any given day, team can step up and surprise you.
Absolutely can. Nothing can be taken for granted. No opponent can be underestimated at this stage. The playoffs are on the line. Tournament lives, and for the side of the Falcons, the Club Championship as well, hanging a bit in the balance. Going to be a bit of a reprieve for them after Team Liquid got eliminated from CS2 just yesterday. They have that sister team games apart, competing right now over in the STC arena. The pressure falling onto both of their shoulders. Try to guide Falcons and keep them in that top position. Yeah, for sure. I mean, now you're starting to look a little bit worried as Falcons if you can't get through here today, and if the CS2 team crumbles a bit, where there might be hope for one of those other clubs to get through and take that club championship. Vitality's chasing.
Vitality, that's the one I'm really looking at now. That is a strong CS2 roster, so definitely something that all eyes are on, and certainly the fans here for the Falcons going to be trying to will them past one of the giants of CROSSFIRE. BaiSha is just so formidable. We've seen it time and time again. You know, multiple CROSSFIRE championships, done well every stage of the game you can imagine. The Falcons, like they were talking about in their interview, they have beat BaiSha before, so they feel like they can do it again. Of course, it's a tough ask, no matter how you slice it.
See what form they come into the start of this series here today. Both teams going to be looking to set the pace, set the tone here for this game. Falcons started doing that the last time out, but then it just got robbed from them, that opportunity. And that is the fear when you go up against this team. Everybody else from China locked in. BaiSha Gaming certainly not wanting to be the ones left behind. See if they're going to be able to get it done here, join in with the rest of the countrymen, or if they will be the most unexpected team, you know, to fall out of it from China.
It would be shocking.
Getting things underway here shortly.
Yeah, it would be shocking. I mean, every other team from China has made it through. You've got KINGZERO, you've got Q9, you've got Evo Power, who they lost to. You got AG.ALEVOLUTION all the way through already to those playoffs. So BaiSha doesn't want to be left out. Doesn't want to, you know, have that precipitous drop from being tournament favorites to not even making playoffs. And obviously, you know, it's been talked about a lot, the largest prize pool in CROSSFIRE history. So this is one of those events that you want to make sure that you come through with a strong performance, really cement your legacy. as the best, as the greatest of all time. Getting some shouts on stage. Looks like we're about ready to jump into the action.
Ought to be already. The tension's got to be palpable here. The pressure building up here on these players' shoulders. Seems like things are ready to kick off as we get ready to go into this first map and see if Falcons are going to be able to put that right foot forward. It's going to be BaiSha's map pick to begin. If they can find success there, then they're going to be feeling so much better about the prospects of being able to close this one out and get themselves forward into the playoffs. So here we go, Black Widow once again between these squads. My eyes going over to Xiao once again because he was able to enact some incredible flanks to really shut down Falcons.
Yeah, he was so impactful. You know, you think of snipers as those guys who are going to lock down mid or, you know, lock down the extremities of the map, but he was all over the place, just catching Falcons off guard time and time again. A little bit of a setup here. YDSS. But no damage done either way. Just some spam through the doors. Looking for any contact that they can find. Falcons, though, taking it easy, taking their time. C4 still in spawn, so this is just a probing operation. Just seeing if anything is amiss or if there's a player out of sorts. You have to be so diligent against this squad. Lai as well, going to be over on the long A side of the map with a sniper of his own. So he's going to be tasked with shutting down that angle and kind of funneling Falcons over towards this B side if possible.
Keeping things very tame, very quiet here for now. Falcons not wanting to misstep here against the BaiSha Gaming. Any singular mistake, any early pick. And we know that that could just be GG for the round. Heavy mid-presence here, though. Smoke grenade's going to be going out. Backing off vision here from this mid position. Ductwan may be ready to try to lead the charge. I drop down, ready to push through the double doors. N9 watching on the opposite side. We're not calling for anything, though, as the C4 starts making its way up Cat. And now they get ready to go ahead, start the exact drop down, landing right on top of YDSS. Does manage to find the one. Straight back going to be coming through his 577, able to find himself an extra kill, and N9 will get involved as well. 2v2 here, but now down to that 2v1 with Ice Cube, the danger man on the squad, striking with a quick shot, is able to find Lai. 577 now needing to bail them out. 20 seconds remaining though, and the C4 not yet planted, so 577 can just play at a time. Tucked just on the opposite side of the window here, and it looks like Ice Cube wants to try to clear this one out. Drops down, and he finds him. That's the opening round going the way of Falcons.
Yeah, this is really well navigated by Falcons. Somehow, some way, they get a decent read. I think it's some of that util that gets thrown into B main. Kind of sets them sets the alarm bells ringing, and they say, nope, short A, short A. That was the weak part of the map. They were able to suss that out. Even with that long sniper position at A, they were still able to get it done, and it's going to be YDSS going down early. Rambo going to find him. That's an opening pick here, a big one for the Falcons. Did a great job there on that entry, all working together, all making sure that any player that was on site for BaiSha was cleaned out quickly. He did a good job trading, so clearly already looking a little bit more in sync in that department. This time around, they're going to be able to take a little bit of long A control for themselves, setting up for a little bit of a trap play here if anybody were to push around the corner. But as we can see, for now, BaiSha just trying to push out on the other side of the map. Gain a little bit of info, gain a little bit of territory. That's something that, you know, we know Falcons are going to have to be aware of. Like you mentioned, those flanks were absolutely devastating.
This double push up, though, N9, 577, gaining control. Deep outside of B main. Could be a quick flank from them as the exec gets ready to start off here over towards A. 4-player cluster here at long.
Just going to come down to the pace here. If Falcons can get through pretty quickly, get that plant down, it's going to be tough, but already BaiSha on the move. They've read this well in terms of their own timing.
Nade's now starting to come through. Deep rotation here from 577, slotting himself over here at bottom mid. Flash connecting on the shady Xiao, just staying tucked away for the moment. Lai to try to reinforce the position, peeking, seeing if he can spot anybody, and he does. He's able to find one, and not at the same time going to be taken down there through the double doors. able to find a couple kills back here in trade to make it a 2v2. Overall, a decent volley here for the side of BaiSha Gaming, and that's a fantastic shot from Xiao Xiao, leaving Rambo now to his own devices. Still on the approach here from Cat. C4 down behind 577 here on the ramp, so he will drop, slow creeping forward, trying to see if he can find anything, but there's only going to be 16 seconds remaining. 577 will find the timing to swing out. It's going to be BaiSha tying it up.
Now, what a hold. Even with that extra layer of smokes that's set up at the front of the site on the entry, still the Falcons couldn't quite get through. Able to just play for that extra kill. Lai doing a really nice job with his positioning there, making sure that he was in a spot where he could easily punish that early aggression. Both teams letting loose. Little smidge of damage taken by Ductuan here, but it's just a full retreat for BaiSha. Want to continue to contest that angle. Smoke gives them a little bit of a one-way here. See underneath it, but nobody from BaiSha wants to challenge that. Still, though, pressure out of Long B. And just waiting to see how Falcons want to try to pick this apart. It's pretty good map control, but with the information that Dola might be able to feed over there at Long A, it may end up being your course of action if things stay as they are. A little bit of time ticking.
He pushed to mid, but look at where a ton of this pressure is from BaiSha. Big player near Crossfire set up, and 9 does slot away from this one as we see the pause getting ready to come through after this round. Curious to see which side has called that one, but 577 on the peak. With a fine one, backs away. It's a decent amount of damage, and Shady there on the chase will be able to hound him down. Himself, though, low. Frag will hold him at bay for now. Does not critically find that kill. Xiao Xiao getting spammed out of position, re-peeks it, challenges on that angle, and he's able to find one for his troubles. Still staying alive, just dancing around these smokes. His live with covering fire is going to be able to get involved as well, finding Dola. Rambo now on the approach, pushing forward. It's going to be a 3v2. Just under a minute remaining now. Rambo gone. The C4 dropped here forward on the site. Nice cube. This is a very difficult position to try to fight your way back into. Suspicious about the window here. YDSS just tucked in. Eyes on it, and 9 as well. Pulls away from the angle for a brief moment, and I don't think he got the spot. He is going to start scaling forward a little bit deeper, though. Nice Cube really is trying to assess his potential options, but I just don't think he's got very many.
Thinking about underpass.
I think he at least wants to try to find a pick there, but it's going to be Lai winning out the fight. Shot whiffing sets him up, and it's going to be BaiSha Gaming now in the lead.
Yeah, this is a really nice setup for BaiSha, setting up for that mid-crunch. Players coming from a bunch of different angles if you try to push through there. Still, though, Falcons able to navigate it somewhat well. They're able to get through short anyway, kind of just brute force their way through that and use that long A space to try to make that long wrap, to set up a little bit of a crunch of their own onto the site. But BaiSha just holding too firm, 577, great wall. Just holding things down to get that first kill and buy that precious extra time for BaiSha to get into position to shut this down. And BaiSha's coach liking what he sees. Not exactly sure where the pause came from here.
Might be a tech pause.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It looks like a headset off, maybe a little bit of tangle there on the earbuds. So hopefully something to just quickly be rectified so we can get right back into the action here. The players knowing about it. Our admin kind of looks like Laz.
He does a bit, actually.
I was like, what's he doing?
Yeah,
out
what's
there?
he out? Why is he out there?
You're done for the day, Laz. Go home.
Yeah, he gets done casting and he goes right to the ref booth. Man's just doing double duty.
Gonna try to work overtime. Yep. If we get any word, we'll of course pass that one on. Let you guys know what is happening there. But okay, yeah, looks like just quick little checks here. Try to figure out what exactly is going to be the fix. So hopefully should be taken care of pretty quickly.
For sure. So far, looking like BaiSha very much in control of this map once again. I mean, Falcons were only able to find one round the entirety of the last time they played this map, so you would think now should be able to get a little bit better result here, but the real question is can they manifest a big upset Is everybody just kind of looking around, trying to figure out what's going on? Of course, from time to time, the old sound issues or whatever it is crops up. We just wait. Get right back into the action.
That means that you all just get to hang out with us for a while.
Oh, joy.
Let's see just how desperate we get for conversation topics on how long this ends up going. Oh, my God.
You just slammed your knee into the desk.
Oh, I did.
I hope everyone at home heard that.
Oh, I hope they did too. Yeah, I'm gonna need a tech pause now. I just absolutely obliterated my kneecap with that one. That's great.
Do be like that sometimes.
Should be all right. Fortunately, nothing hospital worthy. So I think we'll be okay.
You can join me in the bad knee club.
I'd rather not. For how long you were limping around?
Yeah, it was a while. It was 2 surgeries was less than enjoyable.
Yeah. Just, you know, could have just sent you to the glue factory. Yeah, that one's
sometimes I'm surprised they didn't.
That one's not going to walk well anymore. So.
You know, when they're putting you under and you're like, I might not wake up from this.
That could just be it. Well, at least it would be peaceful. Just
yeah, exactly. That's the way I thought of it. I'm like, well,
just counting back to, you know, back down to 1 from 8 or whatever they start you at.
They don't even. I don't know. Have you ever been put under at a hospital in Korea?
No.
So in case people don't know,
I had 1 surgery and they did it while I was awake.
Okay, we both live in Korea, by the way. In case people at home don't know, they don't even count. They just do it.
Okay.
Like they just like send it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't really care.
No, I just had a local anesthetic injection into my hand when I had a broken knuckle.
All right.
And then they did the entirety of that surgery, which was lovely, while I was wide awake and just staring at it.
Yeah.
Just watching a steel bolt get drilled into my bone.
They gave me my surgery on CD. It's like a recording.
Oh, yeah?
Of it. Yeah.
Oh, you can watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Oh, that's neat. That's a good conversation starter on a date.
Exactly.
Come back to my place and watch me have a knee surgery.
Want to watch him crack my knee open like a crab leg? Like.
Yeah, that would be great. And if they say yes, then you just end the date and you can leave.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, no.
Red flag.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
right.
That was a
you
that
did
was
not
a test.
pass the test.
Yeah.
That'd be the way to do it.
Well, we wait a little bit longer. Hopefully, all will be square soon, and those of you watching can be spared from our podcasting. But it seems like we're still trying to get it all squared away. Usually, get things figured out pretty quickly. Looks like you Falcons fans are going to be happy if you're watching CS2 over there.
Yeah, they just closed out a 2-0 victory over G2. GO2 low, as one would say. But yeah, a bit of a rough go over there for those boys. But Falcons looking good. And as they continue to advance, they just look better and better to lock up that club championship for a 2nd year in a row.
Definitely feels like they're on that path, for sure. This team right here going to be one of the ones that still has a chance to maybe even put it further out of reach if they can get it done here today. Big upset is what it would require. But we're still just vibing until we're ready to go again, until we're ready to get into round 4.
Taking a look here, just getting word that we, on the topic of that CS2 closeout, you have some breaking news. I'm reading through it here at the moment to see exactly what we've got going on. Seems like Team Vitality are now out of championship title contention.
Oh.
So, given... Yeah, seems like with this victory, they have now eliminated them and can only be caught by Team Liquid and Virtus.pro.
Wow.
So I have to suspect that Virtus.pro, a lot of that's going to have to be done on the CS2 side of things. And for Liquid, I think it would have to I think they'd have to rely on Nephew winning in Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, it all comes down to Street Fighter. That's crazy.
That is wild. Because, yeah, actually, I didn't even check the results to see if VP had played or closed out their series over there. It looks like, oh, they're still competing at the moment here versus Mouse, and I believe that is going to be going to map 3.
That's, yeah.
Yep, they are tied up 1-1. So, pretty dominant showing on Mirage by the look of it there.
Yeah, wow. Mao is one of the teams everybody's talking about.
Well, this has certainly stirred things up. So, still an opportunity, but Street Fighter to kind of decide it all, I think that's going to be pretty wild because, I mean, anything can happen over there in that title, as we saw just last night with Punk.
That was just an iconic Street Fighter moment.
Even an Evo champion can misjudge how much damage he has dealt.
Yep.
Misjudge an HP bar.
I mean, it couldn't have happened in a better moment when it was the final round of the final set. Had to, it was tied 2-2, tied 1-1 in that set in games, and then he gets up and he thinks he's won it. No. You have not. And then Xiaohai, the reigning Street Fighter champion for EWC, ended up beating him. That was quite the match. Great match regardless, because it was a run back as well by Xiaohai. He was down 2-0 and then completed the reverse sweep. Absolutely insane game.
Pretty brutal. Well, I'm sure there's a couple people who are like, why are these guys talking about Street Fighter? Why are they talking about CS2? I mean, granted, yeah, big event, all of these things happening simultaneously. Well, it's just because we haven't seen enough of this game right now to really talk about it. And all we could really discuss would be essentially what happened the last time they clashed, and we've already had that covered pretty much ad nauseum. So we're just getting to the point where we start talking about whatever we want.
That's right.
Frankly. So I don't know. Last movie that you got to see?
Last movie that I saw?
Or TV show, anything big that's kind of like stood out?
I've been trying to watch Alien Earth, but the first 2 episodes, everybody said was good. I didn't actually end up really liking it. Yeah. I was a little bit, hyped for it. I'm a big fan of that whole franchise, and, especially, the original 2. Really, really good, but this one is kind of, we'll see where it goes. It's very odd, and, takes place, 2 years before the first movie, Alien. So it's it's a prequel technically, but it's also
it's a prequel to Alien.
Yeah.
So I guess in the timeline, it's the aliens have still arrived on Earth after that ship has left.
Apparently.
To go exploring. And here's footage of just the previous rounds. But so the aliens have arrived at Earth after the ship with Ripley has departed and are in deep space?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something kind of happening simultaneously.
It happens before the Nostradamus gets back.
Right, so they don't know what's happening back on the planet.
Yeah.
But they're also encountering the aliens for the first time.
But it doesn't make sense in a way unless there's... I don't know how they're going to explain this, because in Aliens, when she does get back, right, they're all acting really surprised that this is a thing, and,
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it could just be, the company, Weyland-Yutani, just blowing, just saying things to her that aren't true to Ripley.
Yeah, propagandizing.
Yeah, that could be. So it's I'm trying to figure out how they're going to incorporate this into the greater picture of the universe. It is expanding on the lore, which is kind of cool. The world is divided into 4 different corporations basically. Weyland-Yutani is one of them, and then there's others, and they all control large swaths of the planet basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I like the universe there quite a bit as well. I think I was one of the few people who did enjoy Prometheus for what it was.
I liked it, yeah.
But I wasn't fully sold on Covenant.
No, Covenant was weird.
That one was, yeah.
What was that the
Michael Fassbenders being just goo guys,
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
Yeah, the Robo Milkman. Rip his head off and the Robo Milk falls out.
Robo Milk, yeah.
That one was a little bit weird because I don't like when they kind of mess with the ethos and the etymology of how the alien develops.
Yeah.
And there was just that tiny little mini xenomorph rather than the pinnacle one that, like, you know, the chest burster.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit weird for me that it was just like, why are they just immediately little xenomorphs? That's bizarre. Either way, enough about Alien. Looks like we're ready to go. So thank you for bearing with us. We'll now get back to your regularly scheduled programming of BaiSha versus Falcons. And we'll see if BaiSha are going to be able to maintain this lead or Falcons can tie it up.
All right. Heavy stack over at Long A. It seems to be a focal point here. Is, you know, that was a part of the map that gave them problems in the previous series, so they want to make sure that, you know, in particular, Xiao can't really do anything over there, but it's been a very passive approach on that side of the map for BaiSha so far. This time they're setting up, you know, 2 players, a little bit more of a short lean. It seems like that's where they feel like they can do the most damage to Falcons, based on how they've been kind of conducting themselves so far. So Xiao going to be tucked pretty far back. 577 again. On point if there is a short hit. This is going to be a full-on mid-rush. Got quite the stack here to get through. Going to need some good util.
YDSS, though, going unscouted. Be able to find the first. Just frantically spraying, trying to find a second. Cannot. Does get traded out. Finds a bit of damage, but now the pin's in here from 577. Re-swings it. He's able to go ahead and clean up Ductwan, and just like that, it's just going to be a massive trade. 3 for 1. You take that any day of the week as BaiSha.
No doubt. Again, that is just a tough situation the Falcons find themselves in. They're trying to gamble that there isn't going to be a heavy stack through these doors. They don't throw any smokes. Lie doesn't hit shots, doesn't matter, because 577 quick to respond through short A on the catwalk. Wow, okay, Shady taking quite a bit of damage and just going from bad to worse here for the Falcons.
Seems like the hopes of tying this up is starting to dwindle. Nades out to try to delay here from N9. Flashbang. Getting connection from the Falcon side, but now you've got 577 on the flank. Arriving, but he doesn't manage to actually close out that kill. Ice Cube doesn't manage to stay alive. An opportunity, but does he read the second? Yes, he does. Finds the headshot. Ice Cube getting another one. Now finds himself alone, but the C4 is planted for him, so it all comes down to him versus Xiao. HP looking for the reposition, but just doesn't know how far forward this player is. So BaiSha close, dangerously close, but still able to find the defuse and maintain the advantage.
Almost for the Falcons, despite what looked like a very unwinnable round. They still fight their way tooth and nail through it. Just a few whiff shots. 577 was already weak when he showed up for that backstab coming through water. But he just couldn't quite convert. And even though it all goes that way, Xiao there, wise to pick up that G14 and, or the M14, excuse me, and just go for it. That was definitely the right play. This is something we saw from BaiSha a little bit. Play that forward aggressive position, but they usually don't stick around there for too long. So there's just no contact, and this is a full A swing, A pivot. That means you're going to be looking for those early flanks from N9. Xiao again on point here. A lot of smokes out.
He's out, trying to smoke the approach here directly onto the side as well as you get players from BaiSha getting clustered forward. Still have that tuck from N9 over at that cat position as the pushes now begin. Nade's going to be let out here. Rambo tagged down to about half HP. Tucked in behind the box, but Ductwan on that angle as the smoke gets ready to dissipate. He could be favored in the fight. YDSS though, looking to try to catch him off guard, manages to do so, swings around the back, spraying and praying, and getting rewarded. Dola, Shady, both going to fall as well. Ooh, shot out. Ice Cube continuing to deliver. 8th kill for him. 83 more. He's still got 577. Now look at the strike, but Rambo reads it well. They note the flank, but now they still have to try to recover this C4. They have a minute with which to work with. No utility available from BaiSha Gaming anymore, and Rambo still has 2 nades behind.
Already liking some of the extra layers that the Falcons are prepared for. You know, BaiSha was winning those flanks time and time again. Now they're having a much more difficult time getting them to go.
Oh. That could be a critical whiff here from Xiao. Uncharacteristic to say the very least. Now that they spot one around the back, they say, okay, well, let's just go 2-1. Shove forward here towards the site where YDSS is going to be left alone. Frantic push forward here as YDSS fully blinded up, going to be struck down. Ice Cube able to find that one and all. Now comes down to Xiao. see if he can get him. Gets the spot there onto Ice Cube. They're going wide, a late registration of that player's position. 2 HP. Walks over to the pistol, but there's the push up from Rambo. Gets the jump, and that's going to be a second round win here for the side of Falcons.
I was a bit worried here for the Falcons. I like the way that they've made a change up here with that smoke util, just really smothering A site to keep those snipers pinned back. And they're kind of pushing their way forward, but it looked like when you got that 3K that all of a sudden, or 2K and a 1K, that it was just donezo. Falcons take a moment to pause, make sure their flanks are clear, catch the trailing player, and press forward from there and kind of catch BaiSha where they're scrambling, trying to individually suss the situation out, and they can't. Falcons doing a great job. Ice Cube in particular has been just stellar. You're going to need more of that.
We've already doubled the round count that they got last time on Black Widow versus BaiSha Gaming, so definitely a little bit of a different script here, but how much variation we get still going to be the question. No one giving Ice Cube this angle. Wisely so, just takes a pause, a brief little moment. And back onto the mouse.
You can see that BaiSha wants to shore up that A defense. Bringing a little extra layer in this time, keeping it a little closer to the site, but no contact here around the 120-minute mark, and they're like, maybe not this time. Let's go check B just in case. That actually ends up being the direction that they want to go. You know, this is just N9 saying it's been a lot of A pressure, so this might be a round where Shady feels like he's got to try and explore a different part of the map. So far, he's got a decent read on it, but it just depends on how long this takes, how much patience you have. Dola catching a smidge of damage there from that nade. Here come smokes and other things. Just waiting this out. BaiSha just throwing everything here. Puck had 9 up.
40 seconds remaining. Nearly 3 players, nearly 4 in fact, from BaiSha in position to try to counteract this push here onto the B side. Trying to poke and prod over towards A as well here for Falcons, but at this point, going for a late pivot might be damn near impossible, but Ice Cube still fragging, able to find one. Xiao should have done ducked one there on the entry, but now that the attention has been bought, the entry onto the B site is relatively for free. Xiao will end up falling. Rambo continuing to do well there alongside his teammates. And 9 on the push, a little bit of damage in, spotting Shady, but cannot win that fight, and just like that, it's going to be Falcons now, favored in numbers.
Tremendous fake.
Backpedal here. All of the players playing into main. Frag grenade not finding an elimination there. Lie with one more nade to go. Pops it in. YDSS just trying to slide forward, but it's just too many targets. Lie now needing to do everything. Swaps over the pistol, goes bounding through the window. But he's just going to be struck down from behind. Ice Cube right there to get the finisher. And that's going to be Falcons running this one back.
That is a tremendous set play. Sending 2 in through short and just being extremely patient outside of the B site. Lie here trying to work a miracle, almost pulls it off, but there's that extra layer, that extra player. Just can't quite get it done. I think as BaiSha, you're getting outplayed a little bit in the macro game, N9. That guy who was so big brain, first time they met, he's getting read a little bit. They're able to kind of use some of his tendencies against him there. He wants to make that quick reaction over to A because that's been where all the pressure has been. And even though he kind of initially had a decent idea that it might end up being a B hit in the long run, they have to respect the heavy pressure that Falcons were creating there. And for now, just wait and see exactly what the Falcons want to do again. A little bit more aggro outside of B this time. Our BaiSha doubling up on their short control. Seems like they're willing to cede long A here again. Make Falcons earn it.
5-7-7, holding close for that swing, but it's going to be Lie, actually, who manages to find that shot. Ducked one dead around the corner.
That was
Quick
over.
check and just sees a corpse.
That was over from water. Found an angle there.
Rambo now trying to breach this position. The 577 just holding the top of the stairs. Under a minute remaining. Smokes now going out over towards A Long. 7-7 lurking forward, getting a spot and getting the kill. That's going to be Rambo now. Taken down as Shady eats an immense amount of damage here on the approach. A little bit of spam. Shot just trying to find somebody through the smoke, but Ice Cube continuing to frag, but now will be shut down. Downing forward with the pistol. Oh my goodness, Lie. Starts things off from over on the B side and finishes it A. He comes up with 3, and that's going to be BaiSha once again gaining the lead.
God, man. Lie there just feeling it. I thought maybe Ice Cube was going to be another difference maker, but he's just bounding forward. Just looking for those timings to hit Falcons when they least expect it. You know, again, that layer of smokes coming from long A. And the pause will be of the unfortunate variety.
Yep, once again, something over on the Falcons side of the arena. So I think the other thing that I didn't really like about Covenant so much was just, like, why did David like the Xenomorph so much? Why did he think that they were like a perfect organism? Like, where did that obsession come from?
Isn't it like from the founders or whatever they're called?
But, I mean,
it's something to do with that. Like
at the end of Prometheus, he just leaves with Noomi Rapace's character, and they fly off, and then he like buries her on the whatever planet they end up on, and then he's just like cultivating alien eggs.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get.
Isn't there something where he like kind of gets enamored with like the whole, like the way that other species? What are they called? Not the architects, or the ones who actually like originally developed.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget what they're called, but
am I just misremembering that? That's entirely possible.
I don't know. I just like because they were also whatever they were called, trying to contain the xenomorphs and stop them from growing and developing and spreading.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, I don't get why you're so crazy about this and why you want to like unleash them on the galaxy or the universe.
Yeah, maybe it's just that. I mean, it doesn't make sense in my mind, but maybe it's like that whole like he's a synthetic, right? Like yeah, and maybe they're just
synthetic. That would be Blade Runner.
But they're called synths.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, those are just androids.
No. There's synths, cyborgs, and hybrids. And
okay.
They explain this in the very beginning of Alien Earth.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not in the know. Haven't watched it. So that would explain it. But, I mean, well, it doesn't explain it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you where I always thought that was a little bizarre, but I always just assumed it was something with, like, that whole, like, he was, like, created, so he kind of has respect for them as creators. Or, I don't know. You know, I'm just making
He wanted to be a creator himself.
I think that could be part of the idea there.
He could have. I mean, there's like a million things he could have created. He's like an infinitely intelligent android.
He
He created a podcast or a blog or something, a cooking channel.
He could have done anything he wanted.
Yeah. He's like, this is the everything stream. This is the true variety stream.
The #1 TikToker on the planet. Yeah.
I want to be cooking this thing while doing this dance and reciting all of Shakespeare's works.
He could have done that.
Much, but he decided to go. He decided to go with xenomorphs.
He could have been the best Cirque du Soleil performer ever.
Wrong niche, David.
Yeah. You didn't see Romulus, did you?
No.
Bad.
No, I did not. I heard it wasn't good.
It was not good.
So I have not seen that. I have not seen the last of the new Star Wars trilogy. Those are things that I've just chosen to avoid.
Like you mean like The Last Jedi and
Rise of Skywalker
Rise
or whatever.
Of Skywalker. I haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker either.
I've heard that it's just a tragedy. Almost as tragic as Attack Pause.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to get you to watch Andor. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. I am interested in it. I just haven't gotten around to it because it has the thing that I think Star Wars needed in the new trilogy that was lacking, which is politics. It didn't have any of those, which was bad.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Hi guys, Judy here, and as promised, an update from the CS stage for CROSSFIRE, specifically Falcons just beat G2 2-0.
It was a very good win. It was maybe what most expected, but there's a little bit of spice that can come in there because G2, it's some of their former players on Falcons, so there's that blood rivalry. But what this does mean now is that for the likes of Vitality, no chance of them taking the club championship. Liquid do have a small chance. They're not in Counter-Strike anymore, and they're also out of Crossfire on your side of things, right?
They just got eliminated, which means Street Fighter is the only way for them to go.
So for Liquid, it's all hopes on Street Fighter. Yeah. For Falcons, they can go deeper, they can go further, and they can get a lot of good points.
Yeah, absolutely. And Falcons is looking to make this back-to-back, but whether or not they'll be able to do this, we're going to be finding it out by the end of the day. So make sure you stay tuned for the updates.
Appreciate that. Yep, it all comes down to that Street Fighter there for Team Liquid, and I think that they're off to a little bit of a rocky start. I believe Nephew dropped his first set, so it's going to have to be a big run back if they want to be able to take that one.
Absolutely. Still trying to get all of our tech issues squared away for you guys so we can get the games rolling. But yeah, Andor has politics. You'll love it. That's all I'm going to say. And it is Andy Serkis. For like 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay, you know you're working towards selling me.
I don't want to spoil it either because he's like incredible in it.
Oh, I mean
not in like a typical Andy Serkis way. Let's put it that way.
I think the one that always horrifies me, but it's a great performance from is in King Kong. Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
He just is a guy. Like, he's not, doing any motion capture or anything like that, but he gets his head, like, devoured by the weird, like, tentacle worm.
Yeah, yeah. No, I remember
down
now,
in the ravine, and there's all the bugs and that.
I haven't seen that movie in
That scene
ages.
absolutely screwed with me when I was a kid. I think that probably helps contribute to my arachnophobia.
Yeah, you don't like spiders. It's too bad. I'm the opposite. I love our 8-legged friends.
No, they can. I mean, look, if they're out of sight and doing their job and eating mosquitoes and that kind of thing,
yeah,
I'm down. I love what they do. I just don't like seeing them do it. That's pretty much it. I
think they're fascinating. I've told you this before, but I used to keep them as pets as a kid. I really liked spiders.
As a kid, I wasn't bothered, and then something changed. I haven't really been able to put my finger down on what exactly the turning point was, but eventually just hit a point. I was just like, you know what?
Was it
These
the
aren't
movie
for me.
Arachnophobia?
That definitely did help. Yeah, when it crawls out of the guy's ear, that
classic.
That kind of messed with me a little bit. And then there was 8-Legged Freaks.
I never saw that.
It was I obviously haven't seen it in any recent time, but I remember it being moderately terrifying, but also very over the top. It's very campy.
Oh, okay.
It's not taking itself super seriously.
Okay.
But we'll take a look back here at the couple rounds that we have had played thus far.
Yeah, I think for me, just need to get their footing a little bit to BaiSha. Seen a few whiff shots with the snipers. Lai is starting to step up a bit though in these last couple of rounds. He, had that little pop off at the end, and 577 continuing to do what he does best and just be so annoying to deal with on that defensive side. Just an absolute force. So skilled at just holding down sights, holding down angles, and looking to see if maybe we're getting ready. Oh,
hey.
That's a good sign.
Some fist bumps, some high fives, and just like that, looks like we are ready to get back into the action. So 4-3. BaiSha winning the most recent round. We'll see if Falcons are going to be able to keep things tight-knit, because this is similar to the start that we had in the previous set. Pretty close. Looks like maybe Falcons make a run of it, and then BaiSha just found that footing, but that's a fantastic start. Josh going to be taken down, Shady able to find YDSS here at the same time, so already a 2-player advantage, and not that much damage going to be suffered on the opposite side, so Falcons sitting pretty here for the moment as N9. They'll be able to flush one out. McQuan does get taken down with flash there on a 577, but N9 still continuing to frag, finds himself a second kill, brings this back into a 2v2.
It might slow down now. You can see it was a quick hit there. A lot of util used by BaiSha early at long A. Falcons tried to respond, tried to put some pressure through into mid, and they almost got it to go. If N9 doesn't stand tall there, it's probably Falcons' round, or they can at least get the C4 down. Instead, everything just comes to a standstill. But BaiSha was very quick to react to that the whole time. After they threw all that util, they had nothing in response. They were like, nope, 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 we're going back. Go back to mid, boys. See what's going on down there. they were able to at least make it an even exchange. What looked like it could be devastating. Xiao just got completely smothered there. Some really nice flashes from Falcons initially. Opened things up for them, but now they're going to have to rework their ideas. And good news is you can play for the trade. You could at least get the C4 down potentially. It's a matter of, is BaiSha going to give you that opportunity? Back towards mid. Double down here. And 9 tucked in the back corner of B site. Why? Might just miss that cross.
Yeah, hasn't spotted it. Could have maybe found a critical timing there.
He missed it.
All the more pressure on N9, who I think is maybe about to get backstabbed as the approach. The window is right there, and yep, over the top, death from above, Rambo. Able to find the first strike to try to close out the remainder of this round, and now it all falls down to Lai. V2 to try to clutch it. He's cutting across over towards water, gets a spot on the Rambo. That has him shoved back in over towards the site. Suspected that Rambo had seen that one, but Lai is able to find it. Spots out the head. Quick shot attempt here, but Ice Cube will be able to get it done with a headshot of his own. 4-4. Falcons continuing to hang in.
Wow. I mean, Ice Cube, he's cold as ice today. That is for sure. It's been so impactful for the Falcons. Getting a little bit of chant there out of the crowd. Thought Lai might have a chance, but Ice Cube was just waiting for him to re-peek that. For that head. Oh.
This is the chance. Able to find that critical early advantage here.
Deep smoke again. And in these rounds where they've had this smoke, it's usually been a little bit of a push-up for BaiSha across the bridge. Usually a player down in water, hiding underneath those stairs is typically how those setups run. And they've left long A open. But this time around, it's just double snipers over on the A site. One watching long, one watching short. And the riflers trying to just set up a bit of a crossfire, a bit of a trap here for the Falcons. Just a matter of whether it will materialize in time. We're going to have to explore this one way or another. Some good flashes could make this tricky.
Shady with a quick check, but just be a smoke up here onto the angle. More players holding into this position. Ductuan there to try to back him up. Now, though, Falcons very much just running this clock, but look at BaiSha now. 3 players in position to try to hold this line. N9 maybe starting to get those solid reads coming through like we saw from the first outing. He's got his players in the right position.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. The Falcons are going to have to really figure out what's going on.
They're just going to double face forward in towards main, and that's Ice Cube taken down. Now Ductuan as well, dead. Flank approach is going to be far too delayed from Rambo. We'll see if he's going to be able to find some value. Does, and even finds some additional. Cleans up 2. Dola gets another. Brings it now to even numbers, but Xiao quick to pivot, gets himself in position. Lai as well. It's a jump spot there on the Rambo. Some shots over towards the sniper. These hits just not quite connecting. Xiao missing these flicks. Mag grenade at the ready. Gets a decent little chunk there on the Dola, but it's not the kill that they desperately need. Lai rewrapping, repositioning, looking to try to come in off this rear flank. Smoke's blocking out everything, but Dola does get taken down. Xiao eventually able to find one. Now Rambo's position going to be known, and he will be struck down. BaiSha Gaming continuing to maintain a lead. It's going to be 5-4 at the half with them narrowly out in front.
Yeah, even though Falcons are able to break through that barricade outside of B, it still isn't enough in the long run since it's an even exchange, and then you're able to buy a little bit extra time there. Xiao set up for that flank from Lai. He's also having a really nice map for himself. Just figure out where Rambo is. Be very prepared with that pistol. Xiao just playing his life from the window very nicely. Splitting the map here, our Falcons, but this is all just a show of force. This is just to create a little bit of map pressure for themselves, so deep smokes on both ends of the map. It's going to keep... Oh, wait, we're over to the other side. We switched. We're around. Oh, my God, I'm so cooked after those tech pauses.
I'm just going to let him figure it out.
Just let me be an idiot. Thanks. Appreciate you. I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. The colors are different.
Look, at some point, you got to just let somebody figure it out for themselves.
I did.
Can't keep sheltering you, you know?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. I mean, eventually you're going to have to be the one wheeling me into the home, you know?
Why shouldn't I touch the burner on the stove? Well, just touch and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go for
You're
it.
going to be a great dad.
Look at this, though. Once again, BaiSha looking like they have a solid read. Big cluster, decent nade. Just one around that corner there on the site. Being reinforced a bit now by Rambo. Nades are going to start to fly. Some of the flashes, smokes to try to slow things down. Massive util dump. Stuck tucked here behind the box. Flashed up for the moment. Shady also arriving, sending in some nades, and Rambo able to find a shot there through the window. 577 going to be taken down, and now he finds another. His line will fall similarly. I think they're good read for finding this side of the map that had the weaker stack. They still need to try to push their way forward into this site. 50 seconds remaining. They are not budging here at all. Only feeling trapped in from this position. Looking to just try to fight forward. Double stack here behind the box. Some shots there from N9. Not finding the contact that he's looking for. Ducktwan up and over the top, and on the reswing, Shady will be able to find it. So now they know that both players are going to be there, but they've got no way to try to flush them out. Just Xiao swapping the weapon. Draws down with that EBR, but he cannot get it done. Opening round of the half goes the way of Falcons as they tie us once again.
Yeah, they're just so firm here, but it's all about that early map control that they're able to take. They wait out a little bit of that util and then just start pressing space, and they know they're not going A, so they can solidify the defenses at B. No util left here. One flash to try to set up N9's initial swing. After that, they just have to get it done with the guns, and Falcons are able to best them. So huge, huge round. Tie it up 5-5. Now we're looking BaiSha to try to change up the course of history a little bit here. A lot of early smokes. First two have dissipated. Made a little bit of damage done to 577. But again, they're just trying to brute force their way through here into B. This time, it's going to be about timing. That extra smoke at mid might give them a little bit extra. They have to make this fast.
Force one back, Ducktwan able to hold the line for one to Rambo. Oh, that's going to be a glad lie. YDSS both going to be struck down. One shot, 2 kills. Huge value found. And 9 now trying to push his way forward, but just doesn't read this reposition at all. Feels like the wheels really come off here for the side of BaiSha. I'm not having to be called, and oh yeah, well somehow Shady and Xiao missing each other there in that smoke and in that flash, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Falcons with the defuse, getting themselves now up to 6 round wins. Need to remind you that this is BaiSha's map pick.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked here. By the way, BaiSha is handling themselves. They're just trying to go for these big death ball hits. Normally, they're a team that likes to spread the map. They like to toy with the info. They don't do any of that this time. And they just can't get these executes to go. Defender's advantage working in the Falcons' favor. Rambo also hitting it. Just crazy good timing there with his TRG. Gets the 2-for-1. And the round just dissipates. Or BaiSha. Falcons don't have to do anything too crazy in this one. Just, okay, you guys are going B again. That's fine. We can play that game. And I'm sure that BaiSha's coach just wants to talk to N9 and be like, yo, dude, you're better than this. Like, we know you can spread the map. Work these angles, some of that util. Get those players tucked into hidden positions where they're able to strike from the flanks. All those things, really, really important. That's what I'm looking to see after this tack pause. Just a different methodology for BaiSha. Maybe it was just part of the game plan coming into the map, saying let's just run a couple rounds at them on B and just test them. And did not go according to script, that's for sure.
Well, they passed the test, and the crowd is starting to get rowdy for it. See that what the read ends up looking like, but it just feels like, you know, after the loss from BaiSha to fall down into this position to have to be in this rematch, Players have just been looking a little bit out of sorts. Xiao, somebody who is so impactful, finding so much value in that first series. Had some very uncharacteristic whiffs. 9 kills, yes, but you take a look at Rambo, you take a look at Ice Cube, they are besting him.
And in general, it just hasn't felt as clean from BaiSha in a lot of different respects. Micro, macro, pinpoint a lot of different issues that they're having. This is more of what I would want to see from BaiSha here on this BL side. Just spread the map a little bit, try to get some info, see if you can maybe bait some rotations, then make your move. But the whole time, I's been sitting with the C4 over in water, so seems like that appears to be their angle of attack. Meanwhile, it's a heavy stack in short. 3 players here for the Falcons. Just kind of thinking that there's going to be a change in direction. Trying to read what the coach was telling BaiSha during that timeout. And BaiSha is just going right back to what they were doing. It's just being a little bit different about the early part of how they get there.
There we go again. Backpedaling damage going to be exchanged with 577, able to find the shot there through the door. Light wide open, but quick flank going to be coming through. Duck1 is able to find one. Quick shot there from Xiao. A nice little flick, finds his second. And that's a Xiao that we've really come to anticipate. Does end up falling, but does his duties here for the team. Feels like the TAC timeout working a treat here for the BaiSha Gaming side of things. Is Ice Cube on the entry. Yep, just a high-low setup. BaiSha making it impossible for him to bring it back to parity.
Yeah, it's all about the early round here for me, for BaiSha. Just spreading the map a little bit, showing presence, trying to keep the Falcons guessing. And then from there, sure, if you want to go B again, that's totally fine. And turns out to be a great idea because the Falcons did not expect that at all. They were reading short A the whole way. They're able to dodge that. Early damage done, though, this time. Duck1 going to push out with Shady. Find that opening pick at long A, so they're going to counter that early round spread formation very nicely.
577 straight out the window. He's just switched on. Gosh out, same position, looking to try to maintain control here and finds a shot to take out Dola. Player advantage back into the hands here of BaiSha, their leader on the ground, but Ice Cube trying to go for that 180, but 7 line just a little bit faster. They get the shutdown, but C4 for now. He's stranded here onto the site, but that's one needing to widely do it all, and he makes it so very close. But it is not enough for the closeout, and that's the pop-off coming through. BaiSha Gaming starting to really feel it.
Oh man, it was so close though. It was so close. Almost. And almost here for Duck1. Who has really picked it up since struggling during the opening match against this very same opponent.
It's on back 577 again. So far forward, Dola gonna be taken down. Only finds a smattering of damage there for his troubles, and Xiao out from long is able to find the shot there onto Shady. As now the pressure certainly starting to mount. BaiSha Gaming. Plant is in. Player advantage is there, 4-2. And 9 watching the potential approach here from Duck1, who's going to start working his way up Cat. Keeping it quiet, bounding forward there with the B-hops. Also away from the angle, though. Maybe an opportunity for the backstab, and there it is. Does manage to find one. Looks for that second. He cannot, and Rambo at the same time loses his life. Now a 1v3. Seen these clutches before on this stage, but it's not to be. Not in this round, so 8-6. BaiSha Gaming getting within touching distance of closing out this opening map of Black Widow. 2 more rounds for them. Needing to now see the rebound from the side of Falcons.
Just love them turning up the tempo there after having a close round where they barely able to avoid getting 1v3'd. I like how there are BaiSha fans from other organizations out there. Why not? Hey, I mean, they are the current best in the world, so obviously the best play the best. Definitely about it. But just the turn of tempo there. I love the confidence from N9 to just go, guys, let's run them down. Let's just run them down. Get at them. you know, put your faith into 577 there to get that first kill, to break the door open for you. Xiao on the flank at long. Bam. Basically round over.
It's one of those things that has been missing here from this, was that confidence. You know, they're whiffing their shots, but it seems like they've suddenly started to find that spark. It's going to have Falcons on the back foot, so their attack pause to try to turn the tides of this one, run this back, because, you know, while they weren't able to find value on their own map pick, which was this in the last series, they're playing this one damn close, and if you can take this one down after BaiSha have selected this for themselves, you're going to feel a hell of a lot better going into Eagle Eye.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to really like the adjustments that have been made by the Falcons coming into this, especially on their BL side. I was very, very impressed.
Nades out. This is just going to be the players of Falcons getting absolutely smothered by utility. I mean, Shady dead. Ductwan down to damn near half. Rambo loses a third. Fantastic opening volley here for the side of BaiSha as they try to get this up the map point.
Yeah, the Falcons on the back of that timeout try to turn up the tempo themselves. It's answered. BaiSha, though, still has some work to do. Only that one player, they're going to have an advantage, and they do smoke off mid, so going to open up a little bit of a pivot here for themselves potentially. At least try to clear short, but there's that stack. Only two players this time, though, or the Falcons, and instead, this is all just a move over towards B through water. Just want to keep the Falcons guessing. Oh, now they know.
Rambo again, needing to try to hold things down here. Some pre-fire through, but connection's not being found. Four into position, the plant now coming in. Xiao again, looking to try to hold this flank. This time it's going to be a deeper wrap around here from Falcons. This time, Xiao also has a bit of reinforcements. It's back up over at water as three players play in this spot. Try to stem the tide and stop the approach. Flash in, Xiao on the re-peek though, able to find the first. Ductwan going to be taken down. Ice Cube going to be noted there. And up and over the top, Dola does manage to strike for a singular kill, but they need a hell of a lot more than that. YDS on the swing out is able to find him. Rambo now spotted. The numbers are just getting away from him. Rambo will be able to go ahead and find one more kill, but nothing more than that. And one more round is all that BaiSha Gaming need to close out this opening map here in this elimination series.
So impressive what Xiao is able to do from that water stairwell. He is just a monster. And then you have 577 there to back him up. Throw out some util here. The response is there from the Falcons, but this is all to, I think, set up a lot of what we saw earlier. Long A control for BaiSha. I say earlier, I mean on the previous time we saw this map. Trying to just gain control of this space and then make your decisions off the back of that info. N9 doesn't see much. Try a different angle here. A lot of util coming through over towards B though, so 577 there, able to at least bait out a bit. It's gonna send the Falcons pushing a little bit forward.
The rebound though from Xiao now at 15 kills. The previous check-in had been at 9, and Ice Cube has maybe only gained 1 in the interim.
He was so good to start. Just can't quite keep it up. Rambo has really picked it up, though, on this defender's side. He's been the real danger man. Just all going to collect at long A. Ice Cube going to be called upon.
Shady taken down. YDSS able to find him. Ice Cubes trying to stay quiet, trying to go for the quick scope, but it's unable to find that kill. Now the A site primed and open here for the taking. Dola, Ductwan, Rambo needing to go huge in a 3v5 retake. Shots flying through. There's so behind these boxes, slide, tries to provide some covering fire, but the nade's gonna be good. Dola able to come away with 2 quick kills. Rambo finding 1. Up and over the top of the box, so 577 able to find him. Swings back out. Dola finding that kill, but it's going to be Xiao with the finisher. Close but no cigar. It's 10-6 as BaiSha Gaming once again get the better of Team Falcons here in the opening map. Black Widow is theirs.
Man, I mean, still impressive stuff from the Falcons, but once BaiSha got that heat, they kept bringing the fire. And it was all on the back of Lai and Xiao. It felt like at times those two really doing a lot of heavy lifting, whether it be with the snipers or up close and personal. They were the ones help carry the things over the line. 5.77. Loved what I was seeing from him. Just great rifling, able to get into those impactful moments where he's able to shut some rounds down. Looking at some of these moments, that was that one round where I thought, oh boy, this is just BaiSha all day, but then Falcons was able to flip the script there in that first half.
And if you're Falcons, you got to be worried that this is a bit of a barrier break here for the side of BaiSha, finally jumping that hurdle that was holding them back, that led them down into this lower bracket. If they're going to start firing like they did in their opening series as we get ready to go into that second map of Eagle Eye, oh, well, then it might just be time to say your prayers. The Falcons, though, putting up a much more contentious fight here to start off this set, but need to maintain stability, need to keep level-headed. If they falter, they start getting into their own heads about it. And that could just be BaiSha pretty much winning the war and advancing forward into the playoffs tomorrow. Pressure going to be mounting here. See how they're going to rebound, though, when we come back and get ready to go into that second map. BaiSha going to be looking to try to make this another 2-0 closeout and send Falcons out of EWC CROSSFIRE. We are back, one map out of the way here in this elimination set. Here at day 3 of CROSSFIRE at EWC. Falcons, a good start, but faltering at the end. They once again suffer a map loss to BaiSha Gaming, who are now poised to potentially take this 2-0.
Yeah, it's certainly a better showing from the Falcons, but it's still not enough. BaiSha just, once they got engaged, once they hit that next gear, that next level, they became that monster that we saw in the opening match against Falcons earlier here in Group C. And now it all comes down to this potentially for Falcons. One more map, their pick of Eagle Eye 2.0. Haven't seen it from either team yet here on. So kind of curious what it's going to look like. It seemed like the Falcons came to getting those initial ideas against BaiSha. That's where they struggled. And there's a lot of energy now in that BaiSha camp. They are certainly feeling it. They're going to come in with a lot of heat, a lot of pressure, I am sure. You know, this is a map that domestically pretty good for the Falcons. So can they replicate that success? Are they going to be able to bring it in, take down BaiSha, force a map 3? That's the big question. It's going to be Eagle Eye. It's where we find ourselves here for our second map.
It's the only answer for them. There's no other recourse. They have to be able to win this one, take it over to Ankara. This is going to be Falcons' map pick. That opening performance is anything to read into. Should see them a bit more favored here. BaiSha Gaming, when they're on point, they can just be that difference maker. They can be that team that doesn't really conform to expectations. For now, YDSS forward outside of Hotel. It's going to look to hold down that approach to B. There's all the Falcons clustered here at mid. Looking to fan out, poke and prod over towards the A site a little bit here. Util at the ready. I'll let her rip. Up and over the top, these smokes do go. What's the approach going to be? Because for now, still staying in position. Flashing their way forward. Firm mid control there, but Xiao able to find that first blood. And 9 out from window, able to find himself the kill as well. And already, wheels starting to come off. Oh, it's Ice Cube nearly taken down just there around that corner. Swinging back out, and N9 quickly identifying the position of Thola. And he deals with the 2 remainders. Already the pop-off starting to fly. BaiSha Gaming, they're looking right as rain to start things off on Eagle Eye.
Goodness. No problems there. Just letting them push through and setting up those crossfires. N9 playing that so well. Got a kill, got some damage, threw a flash. Lost some time for his teammates to get there, to get those crossfires in place. That's why we always look to him as be one of those difference makers, just in the big brain ideas and also the fragging. He got 3 kills when it was all said and done at the end of that round. Now you're just fanning out across the map here a little bit. The typical setups you're going to see, YDSS will be the one asked to lock down long B. Just try to hold. As the Falcons going to be taking their time with this round. Probably talking through a bit how exactly they want to approach this one. That mid approach did not go the greatest. Now you're trying to reestablish some kind of presence here, but for now, it's going to require a little bit of extra oomph. YDSS on timing, throws the nade. Just scrapes Rambo barely. Look at this position Xiao's got. He's going to be able to play off that contact potentially of YDSS if this is the direction that the Falcons choose to try to go. It's here in the hotel just waiting.
Spotted quite just yet. Falcons knowing the limitations here, of course, of where they can peek out from and not give angles over to players like Xiao. 48 seconds remaining in the round. Smoke's just going to be juggled over towards this A site, but for now, Falcons still very fanned out, very disconnected from one another. Couple nades going to be lobbed in here, but you got a 3-player stack from the side of BaiSha to try to stave off the approach here at the A site. Seems like like a little bit of a similar strategy here from the Falcons. Once again, getting ready to just shove all the way up in towards top mid. And 9 though. Starting to scale forward, starting to get closer here with Ice Cube just around the corner through those smokes. Touchdown now, tucked back, finds the first shot. That's going to be Duck1 taken down. Ice Cube just managed to find N9. Eliminates the IGL, but YDS over the top, going completely unnoted. Nearly gets the transfer over, but it doesn't even matter. Rambo will find the one, but Xiao is there for the covering fire to clean him up. Ice Cube now needing to do it all. Finds the first. That's just going to be the kill, flying through at the very end. Just holding that line. BaiSha more than happy to have Falcons try to play this patiently.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a similar avenue of attack for the Falcons, but it's not quite able.
It's your final kill, it's just the clock. Just can't wait for more
time. Oh,
Xiao, man is on it. Into a corner. Potentially could be flushed out. A frag grenade at his feet would certainly seal the deal, but up and over the top. YDS there from the bridge. Goes on the peak, is able to find Dola, but does get traded back, and Xiao dead. Does bring this now into a 3v3. Low HP on Shady, and 9 wraps around to try to maintain control of this B site. Plays away from the rest, but 577 gets jump there on the Ice Cube, but he just can't register it fast enough because there's a bullet through his brain.
There's so many little things that BaiSha does incredibly well. It's the timings with the crunches. They've got these positions where they can get multiple angles of attack onto their opponents, and yeah, Falcons able to fight through the initial set of circumstances that they found themselves in, trying to go through B, long B. But problem is that you've got a lurking player, you've got a flanking player, and he just gets his one and done. He doesn't overcommit to it, and now he's biding his time to just double down on this flank.
Pause is on, and 9, very committed position. Committed to the hold, he's committed to the win. And he's got Rambo reeling, just pulling back. 18 health. And there's the finisher at 577 from the flank. 3-0 start here on Eagle Eye. As it feels like Falcons, after a very back and forth and very contentious opening map, as if they're just not quite feeling, they're not finding that similar groove, and BaiSha are just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, they're just so well coordinated, and it's the individual game sense on top of just having good understanding of the map and the way they're holding things down. And I mean, as Falcons already having to take such an early timeout, so brutal to try to get something to go here. This is your map pick. Wanted to try something a little bit different, try something that works really well for you domestically, try to lean into some comfort. The problem with BaiSha is they just don't have a weak map. You look at their map pools regionally in a very, very difficult region, the best region on the planet, and they perform rather well across the board. So no matter where you go, you are going to find yourself in a tough situation. That is exactly where the Falcons have landed again.
Plenty to discuss here. For Falcons to have to pull the trigger on this timeout this early on, it's not going to be a comfortable spot whatsoever. You can tell that the pressure is building up on this team. It's not just about their own performance here. It's about the money that could be coming through. Those champ points, those club points, they could be accruing for Falcons to try to seal the deal. They have to make it into the playoffs in order to get even one.
Yeah, these deep smokes early from BaiSha. This is making it really challenging for the Falcons, and they're just full committing here, seemingly. A lot of smokes out for themselves on this A hit. Xiao over here, though.
Well, no one's going to be able to see a damn thing. Smokes covering everything at this A site. Flash is now over the top as well to just try to go ahead and ensure that one, but seems like Eyes still working just fine. 4 players immediately dead as Ice Cube just trying to find something up and over the top, but he will fall, and that is going to be a clean sweep, a clean round. Beating them back off of Falcons' tack timeout. Not a single life lost.
You can see it was just a little bit of a different idea, but those extra smokes early give you a little bit of extra time to react. even though Falcons try to throw a lot of util of their own, just everybody's able to tuck in, hold their angles, hold their positions nicely. It's just round done and dusted.
It's like N9 catching a glimpse there. Just gonna smoke off this entryway to hotel.
He needs to get extra players there to back him up if that pressure continues from the Falcons. He's in a one and done position and couldn't get the one, so.
BaiSha gets himself to bridge. Doesn't want to go on a peek here. We'll just squeeze some flashes out over the top. Now watching the angle into hotel. One just hop in the desk. Head gonna be spotted though. Goes up over the top of the box, trying to get a peek in. Pixel angle. Trying to find an opening kill, but it seems like Falcons not gonna be happy with this position. But already the rest of the team starting to get corralled upon as N9 gets himself pushed forward over here in towards mid, and they catch Rambo completely off guard.
They're in mid. You try to put some pressure and it just takes forever because BaiSha's happy to give up that space as long as they're not taking damage.
577 on a bit of an island, still fighting. Trades back pretty evenly as far as the damage is concerned. YDSS going to be taken down, but 577 continues to collect heads. Another 2 kills for him. Looking for that third. Swings out, won't be able to win the fight there versus Ice Cube, but Xiao joined the fray. Did find Duck Tuan, and there's the finisher. The pain continuing, 5-0 now. BaiSha Gaming seemingly trying to make up for some lost time.
Man, every move that Falcons try to make just has such a good response from BaiSha and their protocols. And 577 has been all over the map. He is just happy to keep finding those gaps and exploiting them. A little bit of damage done with a grenade initially. Now you've got some extra help here for N9 IDSS. Gonna try to get a little bit aggressive towards that smoke, see if Falcons were considering a push, but actually just gonna double up on smokes themselves there. Isolate that part of the map, wrap that extra player back over in towards mid. This has been kind of part of the map that BaiSha has been leaving open somewhat intentionally after just shutting Falcons out 2 rounds in a row to start this. Is that mid attack towards their spawn.
Gonna try. There's crunch onto A again, it would seem. It's going through, Lie with a reposition. Watching this connector access is 577 able to find one. Lie on the peak, does get blinded up, does get taken down, but the cover is there once again as Rambo tries to persevere. But for every step forward, for every kill gained for Falcons, they are losing limbs in response. Trade out 1, 3 players gone. BaiSha are looking for absolute perfection here.
I mean, these hit and runs that they have, just every angle covered, just so well thought out by BaiSha. Their coordination, their teamwork on point, on display here on Eagle Eye 2.0. IDSS pushed up deep into the smoke. This is something that I saw the Falcons a few rounds ago kind of assuming was what that smoke meant initially, but this time around, they're not really anticipating that, not expecting it. There was an extra layer of smoke set up there as well for YDSS to continue to hold that. So you're going to be able to triple up onto A. Rambo has to find an opener here. Try to crack this side open. They're getting the flank attempted. Xiao though, watching it. Ooh, can't get the kill.
They're not. Be backing away. Minor damage suffered.
This is starting to look okay. Ice Cube finds that kill. Got the flank angles covered. Got YDSS accounted for. 577 responds though.
Two for one, or rather 1 for 1. N9 dead. It's been the top fragger, but YDSS is looking to try and change that. 2 quick kills there for him. Josh out on the peak, trying to see if he can spot anything out. Nothing going to be seen there. Lone defender of the B site here for the moment. One about to go on this push. Needs to try to break things open for him. First shot ends up going wide. Ice Cube able to find Lie there behind him. And that leaves 577 now to his own devices. Some damage in on the re-peek. Finds the first. Looking for Ductwan, gets the spot out. Backpedaling, going for the reload. Go out into the window, just changes his positions. He's C4 now here in play. 8 kills to 3. Can he get them on the board? Can he finally find some reprieve here for the team? 7-7, very suspicious about where he's at. Taps a C4, Ductwan gives his position away. Drops down here into the cart and will be able to win it out, but barely so. A round win found now. For Falcons, they need that to be the opening of the floodgate.
Just a really good pinch setup onto A. Able to collect it. It felt like for a moment there 5-7-7 had bamboozled Ductwan enough that he could get the job done. IDSS all alone here. Top of some stairs. Just a little bit of damage into the legs.
The fans rallying back a bit. Frag grenade gonna be thrown out, but does get caught before he can draw down that pistol. Solid opening kill there from Ductwan. Not even that much damage gonna be suffered from the Falcon side. BaiSha again trying to play from this bridge angle, but smoke blooming. It's off the sight lines. All of Falcons for now, aside from the C4 in the hands of Ice Cube. Clustered forward here towards the hotel. Spot on the one, but Rambo has the jump and has the headshot. Just like that, Falcons now very favored for the round. Two-player advantage, couple nades just gonna be dumped here around the corner, and damage will resonate out. Come down to about 45. 9 now, just staying tucked.
As long as he can, hoping to catch them on a timing with that flash. Falcons being patient. Need to see Dola step up here. No kills so far on this map. Such
Eye on that first contact with alongside N9, but they both end up losing their lives. 5-7-7 trying to strike in from behind, but the flank maybe just a little bit too late. Ooh. Ductwan there around the corner, swinging out. Damage going to be found in the counter swing from Dola. Will be able to take him out. So 2 in a row here for the side of Falcons, looking to try to rescue this half as much as they can, which is frankly just going to be that next upcoming round, looking to make this a 6-3.
still pivotal. If that 6-3 would be, at least give you that hope as the Falcons. Maybe you can do the same on your GR side. Util thrown out, Xiao tagged up. They're just pressing the advantage.
Peek and yeah, quickly shut down. Way too many targets. There's 5-7-7 going to be eliminated. Rambo able to find the one. YDSS now gone. And 9 he's trying to put his carry pants on, but Rambo denies him the opportunity. Clean rounds here from Falcons to try to round out this half, but seems like it maybe took a little bit too long to try to get the blood pumping here for them. To just see how they start off this second half now that we swap sides.
Yeah, it just took them a while to really get an understanding of the defensive setups that BaiSha was running. But that's the other side of the map. Now it's BaiSha's turn on that BL side. A lot of util out early. Both sides here, but a big push out through long A.
And already 2 kills gonna be found, and 9 able to back 1 there onto Ice Cube, but things are just going from bad to worse, it would seem, but 2v2. Lion and 9 do manage to hold things down. Flash into the face of Shady. Back here at that connected position, the double approach out into the open, and Shady will be able to find them. Falcons now taking that right foot forward, taking that first step. They bring the gap to just 2 rounds.
Falcons just are turning up the tempo on both sides of the map, and it's working a treat. BaiSha hasn't been able to really stabilize and find a response. See if that's going to keep being the case for the Falcons, if they're just going to keep the gas pedal down. They're going to try something a little different. Looks like they're going to slow it up just a smidge. So now BaiSha is going to be offered the opportunity to be a little bit more thoughtful here on the map. Looks like they're also trying to set up that A link into A hit. It's all work for the Falcons.
Fewer numbers here for the moment, but that flank is getting ready to come through, just pushing up.
Shady.
Training from that spawn angle, but YDSS does mention turn back, finding Shady. Ice Cube trading one before getting it picked off. Dola fighting back for a little bit more as well, but now Duck One, last one standing, getting spammed lower and lower, but still is able to go ahead and keep himself alive, but only for a brief little moment. Y finds that kill. BaiSha get themselves on the board in the second half, maintaining a 3-round lead.
Oh, let's go, blow for blow. Turning up the tempo are both teams. This time BaiSha's like, we're just gonna go for the quick A hit. We're gonna get that extra angle created, and we're just gonna play for the trades. And they do it so well. Grenades here out from the Falcons to slow down this potential B hit from BaiSha. That is enough to slow things up for a moment. Now you gotta make sure that that mid angle can't be created for free. So we're gonna put Shady in there, the IGL. Trying to make sure that if BaiSha goes for that again, he'll be aware of it. But man, they've got so much map control right now. Falcons here just need to, oh no. You lose
a shot like that. If you're on the side of BaiSha, YDSS able to find one, but the collapse back in here from Falcons overall is very good. The dust settles, they do manage to bring this into a 2v2. C4, however, gonna be in play. As YDSS gonna run the back, but no spot on the duck one quite just yet. Double join in as Rambo moves into position here. Two-pronged approach. Spotting them both out now. Up top, rotating down to the low ground. Tries to go for the peak there, ends up eating a good amount of damage, but YDSS finds the first. Xiao gets the second, and just like that, BaiSha 2 rounds away from eliminating Team Falcons here at EWC.
Oh, so well played by YDSS and Xiao there. Not giving anything up. YDSS with the jump spots to give them the info that they're all just coming down long A. Tremendous awareness, tremendous coordination. That's something that BaiSha has had on display here on Eagle Eye. Again, great trades on site. Once they decide to pull the trigger on an attack, they're at least coming out of it even. Now, take their time again. Want to make sure that whoever came up mid last time, they're able to do that for free, but Ice Cube gets 5-7-7.
Great shot, and gets the follow-up as well at 9. Does end up falling. Dola going to be traded back. Antoine dead. Xiao does get involved here on this fight, but bloody back and forth. C4 on the ground. Xiao going to recover this here, but you've already got both players from Falcons in position. Xiao going to be really needing some help, but gets the flick up. What a shot! Whoa. To be able to find Shady, and that might just be the final nail in the coffin. Rambo keeping things close, but when Xiao's going to be firing like that, not sure how much hope you have. He's quick on the reposition, quick to try to close this gap here. He's about to go on the peak, and there's the spot out. Nade thrown. Xiao repositioning just over the top of Rambo, who has got basically no HP remaining. And there you go, the final shot to put him down as BaiSha move up to match point.
Oh man, these rounds have been so close. But it's been these individual heroics, and it's Xiao who stands tall again, looking for that tight angle, and able to finally isolate Rambo at the door to the stairs. It's just so fast tempo. BaiSha happy to just throw bodies at the problem. The Falcons, again, they're able to keep it to parity, but they can't win in these individual moments. They can't win. It comes down to these 2v2s, these 1v1s. BaiSha just showing that they're that much better in their mechanical sense, in their individual sense. Falcons has so much work to do. 5 in a row just to send it to overtime.
There's been some crazy clutches, some crazy comebacks already here in the lead up just to day 3. Playing against BaiSha just feels like it's a completely different beast. Similar setup coming through. Quick rotations called in here from the side of Falcons. 4-player cluster now over towards this side of the map, but the C4 going to look to reposition. Getting slotted forward in the hands of YDSS as N9 takes point. Looking to try to breach this position here around the corner in towards connector. Dolet nearly taken down, but it's going to be Duckpon as well, who does manage to fall, and it looks like this is going to be the beginning of the end. Rambo able to find one, down to a sliver. Shady gone, and there it is. 10-4, 2-0 in this set. BaiSha Gaming once again will get the better of Team Falcons, but this time is at the cost of elimination. BaiSha will persevere, joining the rest of their Chinese comrades forward into the playoffs. And for Team Falcons, the home organization, this is goodbye.
A tough one here for the Falcons. Looked better for sure. Got to give them some kudos. They were able to make a much better go of it here today against BaiSha. It still wasn't quite enough. Definitely a better team compared to what we saw the first time around just a couple of days ago, but BaiSha still quality, still got it. They're going to be going on to the playoffs. Falcons there with Club Championship.